To begin our Dragon Eye digital art, we're going to head to our waffle, click on that triangle drive. We're going to go over to that plus sign new, all the way down to more, and the first one under more, Google Drawings. It's a good idea to get in the habit when you open a new document to name it right away. So I'm going to name this my name and then Dragon Eye so that I can find it if I ever need to open it or create on it again. To begin this, it's going to be helpful to insert an image from the web, search the web, and we're going to search for a dragon eye just to kind of have something to build off of. So when I search dragon eye at the top, there's lots of options. You can kind of scroll down and find one that works. Probably one eye would be a great way to start. So I'm going to go ahead and click this. You can just drag it over or you can click and hit insert. From there, we're going to use a lot of shapes to build our dragon eye. So this is just our building block. We will eventually delete or drag this off. So I have a blue box around this, which means I can move it around. If your image doesn't come in large, you can click from a corner and drag it to make it bigger. All right, I'm noticing a circle. So I'm going to go ahead and go up to shape and find a circle shape and try to match that black kind of pupil. So from there, you don't have to make it look like that. You can actually see the reflection in that pupil of somebody taking a picture. I'm going to just maybe go with a solid black pupil. I'm going to build a shape again around that for the iris, the colorful part. So I'm going to get another circle. But if you can remember, it always puts my newest shape on top. So I'm going to just drag this to the side for now. And I'm going to try to see what I can do for a color that's similar to that. I'm going to go up to fill. And instead of a solid fill, I'm going to play around with gradient. And I'm going to customize a gradient, which means I can pick a starting color. So right now there's a little blue box around this starting point. I'm going to go ahead and pick a yellow. And then I'm going to click on the very end. And I can select an end color. And I'm going to go with maybe a brown. So I'm going to get this gradient from light to dark. Right now it's just going to be a line. So the preview is showing that it starts light, goes to dark. If I switch this to radial, it's going to give it more of an eye characteristic. That's cool. So you can play around with the shape and the color of that. Right now this circle has an outline on it, a border. I'm actually going to take that off. Now I made the pupil first. So today you're going to have to play around a lot with that arrange and order and bringing things to the front and the back. I actually want to bring that black pupil to the front on top of the colorful iris. All right, if I hold down my shift key, I can select both of these at the same time and move them together as a group. You're also going to want to use that polyline tool. So under the line tool, if you click the little arrow, there's options, and that's going to allow you to build your own. So when I build my own shape, we've used this tool before, it's going to have more of a jagged or straight edge. There's also a tool, I'm going to delete that, I'm going to press backspace. There is a tool under the line tool called curve. It works very similar to the polyline tool, but you'll notice I am able to make a curved shape. So I'm kind of seeing how I can make the whitish part of this dragon's eye curved. So if I make that maybe white, or maybe I want to put a gradient in there of a little bit of pink, it's kind of a bloodshot eye. That could be an option. I'm going to take the border off of it just because in the image I'm using there's not a border. So now I need to bring the black and the colorful iris to the front. So I'm going to hold down my shift key so I can group them together, and I can arrange and order and bring those to the front. So today as you're working, arrange order is going to be really important. Now that I'm seeing this, I'm going to just make this white. It does not have to match your picture perfectly. You can have totally different colors if you want. I'm going to select, hold down my shift key, select all these shapes I just made and slide them over. Yeah, that's looking cool. Now I'm going to start to work on the texture of the lizard or the dragon. From here, you're going to want to think about copying and pasting. So your texture, your shapes you're making, they don't have to be the exact same. I am going to just be consistent, and I'm going to go to gradient. I'm going to just pick this kind of yellowish color. My preference is just to take that border off. I'm going to make it transparent. All right, from here, I'm going to copy and paste this a ton. So edit, copy, edit, paste will give me another one. If I just keep going up to edit, paste, the computer remembers that I want to keep pasting that same shape. Another quick hack. Some of you know shortcuts. Oops, I'm going to undo that. Go up here, back arrow, I moved that on accident. Some of you know shortcuts. So the shortcut to copy and paste is listed right next to it. Control C, Control V. So if I just keep pressing Control V, the computer knows I want that shape pasted a bunch. And then I can click on each shape and kind of move them around. Another fast way to copy and paste is to hold down that shift key. So you can select several of those shapes. I'm going to Control C to copy them and Control V to paste them. And I'm getting a bunch of them at once to fill in a shape. That's going to be really helpful in getting that texture. I am not going to build for the whole video. I want to show you one other helpful thing you're probably going to want to have. I'm going to click and drag my image of the dragon eye to the side. As I'm working, I probably want to fill the background. So with a right click on a mouse or a finger tap on your Chromebook, you can change the background color. So maybe I go with like a dark brown, or maybe I want to do a background of a yellowish color, or maybe black would look really cool. That's going to help kind of fill in those in-between spots that maybe you didn't have your shapes touching. All right, I'm going to switch over to an image I've been working on so that you can kind of see a work in progress. Lots of copying and pasting. I switched it up and I used some different shapes as well. Anything that is off the edge of my paper, like these triangle points, that will not print. So you just kind of want to keep that in mind. And if I flip over and show you some examples from some kids at other schools, you can see coloring that background is going to be important as you start to see in between all those textured scales. When you are completely finished, you are going to share your creation with your teacher. So clicking share at the top, you're going to add your teacher's name and send it to them.